A city council debate. Rockford leaders hold off on limiting self-storage businesses. One council member alleges a communication breakdown led to the delay. For the last 2 months, some in the Rockford City Council have pushed to redistrict where self-storage can open in town. WIFR's Nathaniel Langley learns why it'll be another month before we can expect any decision.
Tonight's Code and Regulation Committee skipped over any debate on restricting self-storage. Instead, the focus shifted to one council member's calendar.
It's really not an ideal form of development.
City Council member Mark Bonney says Rockford settles for self-storage.
We're just planning by, whatever scraps get thrown our way, because that just encourages more scraps to get thrown our way.
Bonney chairs the Code and Regulation Committee. On Monday night, his main focus is restricting self-storage warehouses to areas only zoned industrial.
It won't be an easy vote at council because there's definitely some very strong opinions on this.
Councilmember Tamir Bell, alongside 3 other committee members, made a motion to delay any changes to these facilities.
I have more questions to ask, and I hope to get those questions in the next 30 days.
The committee did not discuss the details of self-storage. Rather, Bonney questioned Bell's schedule.
So you don't care to explain it?
I have a meeting scheduled, and I would like my questions answered at that time.
Who are you meeting with?
City Legal.
Bell wants answers from the city and his chairman.
Our chairman, who proposed this text amendment, had not had communication with any of our committee.
But the debate on limiting self-storage may not be locked away for too long.
We don't believe that restricting it is necessarily the way to go right now, but if we can get our questions answered, maybe we will move in that direction.
Before tonight's meeting, Rockford Zoning Board of Appeals recommended council members limit self-storage. As for Bell's criticism of communication, Bonney says the committee's agenda, posted days in advance, serves that purpose.
Nathaniel, thank you. WIFR reached out to self-storage companies across Rockford for their perspective. None were available to comment at this time.